Mahine, a beautiful, rare white tiger, was gifted to the zoo in Washington, D.C. in the 1960s. She spent years pacing inside her home, which was a 4-by-4-meter concrete and metal cage. Eventually, she was moved to a wide, open enclosure, one where she could run and play and explore. Yet when Mahine was released, she went straight to a corner and started pacing in that same 3-by-3-meter space. The physical cage was gone, but Mahine was trapped by an invisible prison she'd built in her mind. And she stayed in that tiny space until the day she died. It's heartbreaking. But the same thing happens to us as humans. The biggest prison in the world has no bars, no locks, no guards, yet it holds billions of people. This prison is the human mind, and the bars that keep us trapped are our beliefs. But what if those beliefs aren't true? Yet believing in them is costing you your best life. But what are beliefs? I have been stuck in more mental prisons over the years. One of them, a fear of heights. And it's cost me so much, so many moments that I'll never get back as I waited on the sidelines. And my nemesis, the Carrick-a-Reid rope bridge. I have wanted to cross that bridge since I was 10 years old. Yet, I felt a paralyzing fear just thinking about it, because all I could do was stand and wait and look very pissed off as my family and friends crossed it. Because, as I say, I felt a paralyzing fear just thinking about crossing that bridge. Yet, I kept going back, telling myself that this time it'll be different. It never was. Because every step from the car park down that long path toward the bridge, my heart would be pounding, my palms sweating, and my brain screaming at me, "Danger! Stop! You can't do that!" And I believed it. So I stayed stuck in my prison because that belief felt so real. But beliefs, they're merely just stories we tell ourselves. It was like a computer program running quietly in the background of my mind, stopping me before I'd even tried. I call those constantly running autopilot programs. Yes, it is crap. And you'll find it anywhere where you feel a resistance to something, even when it's something you want to do. But you have a choice. You can break free, get rid of that crap, overwrite that programming, like I did. And you know what? I didn't need years of therapy. I just needed a few simple brain hacks. Your brain is a prediction machine. It uses the past to predict your future, and its goal is to keep you alive. And it's like a giant filing system. It searches through all your past experiences and says, well, you're still alive, aren't you? That worked before, we'll do that again. So I used that to my advantage. And I imagined myself crossing that bridge. I pictured every step. I saw my hands gripping the rope. I felt my feet on the wooden planks. I heard my shouts of joy when I reached the other side. Yes, I tricked my brain into creating new files without ever having to take a single step. And I also used my posture, because your physiology controls your psychology. So I practiced standing tall, slow, deep breathing, and smiling, telling my brain, all's well here. In August 2022, I returned to Carrick-a-Reid with my old friend Sheila. And right from the start, it felt so different. Because as we walked down that long path toward the bridge, I felt calm. I felt in control. I was smiling. And step by step, I crossed that bridge. And yes, this is me running up the other side, waving my arms in the air and shouting, whoa, yes, I did it! Like I'd won an Olympic gold medal, much to Sheila's embarrassment, I'm sure. But in that moment, that's exactly what it felt like. Then, of course, you're on an island. You've got the return crossing to do. Well, no problem, because my brain now had even more evidence in its filing system. And this time, I sang Jingle Bells, because that's another brain hack. Not Jingle Bells specifically, I mean singing a happy song, because you can't feel fear when you're feeling happy. That 20-meter crossing absolutely transformed my life. That fear of heights was symbolic of the bag of crap I had been dragging around with me for decades, full of negative beliefs and limiting decisions and fears that had kept me playing small. But after that crossing, it was like the first domino toppling. Suddenly, I've written a book. I'm here delivering a TEDx. And just the other week, I agreed to eat an oyster. Oh, wouldn't have another one, though. It was hideous. That can go back in the bag of crap and stay there. But what about you? Are there areas in your life where you're holding back, playing small, feeling stuck? If there are, it's highly likely that's an indicator of your crap. But the good news is, as I said, you can get rid of it. And I've got 3 steps to get you started. And they are as simple as A, B, C. First step, nothing complex. You don't have to read a ton of books, but you do need to start reading yourself. It's becoming aware of where crap is controlling your life. The thoughts, fears, habits holding you back. Because if you can't see it, you can't change it. And the second step is recognizing that prison for what it is. Bullshit! And the only thing holding you captive is the belief that you have no other choice but to stay there. When you see it for what it is, you can change it. And the third step is committing to that change. We all have our prisons. But unlike Mahine, you don't have to stay pacing inside yours until the day you die. Because the truth is, that door has always been open. So the only question is, will you dare to change and take that first step through it? Thank you.